shocking moments in leadership history and what we can learn. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some of the most shocking moments in leadership history, moments that not only shape the course of nations, but also offer powerful lessons for leaders today. From political scandals to national crisis, we'll explore these events and highlight some key takeaways for those of you looking to improve your leadership game. Let's start with one of the most traumatic events in US history, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The shocking loss of a sitting president threw the nation into grief and uncertainty. It was a reminder of how fragile leadership positions can be and how a crisis at the top affects every layer of society. Tip 1. As a leader, always ensure you have a clear succession plan in place. While most leaders won't face something as extreme as an assassination, unexpected events can still occur. Whether it's illness or a sudden change in circumstances, you want to make sure your organization can function smoothly without you. Next up is the resignation of President Richard Nixon in 1974, the only US president to ever resign from office. This was due to the Watergate scandal, a shocking betrayal of public trust that left a deep scar on the country. Tip 2. One major takeaway here is the importance of integrity. Once trust is broken, especially at the leadership level, it's extremely difficult to rebuild. Always prioritize transparency and honesty in your leadership, even in difficult situations. Walking the talk is crucial for maintaining long-term credibility. Now, let's go back a little further in history to 1814, when British forces burned Washington, D.C. during the War of 1812. Imagine the shock of having the capital of your nation on flames. For leaders at the time, it was a moment of reckoning that showed the vulnerability of even the most powerful nations. Tip 3. As a leader, don't underestimate the importance of preparation. Whether it's safeguarding your organization against external threats or preparing for economic downturns, being proactive rather than reactive can make all the difference. One of the most tense moments in modern history was the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. The world was on the brink of nuclear war, with US President John F. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev locked in a 13-day standoff. Their ability to navigate this crisis was the fate of millions hanging in the balance is a powerful example of crisis leadership. The ability to navigate this crisis with the fate of millions hanging in the balance is a powerful example of crisis leadership. Tip 4. In moments of crisis, staying calm and composed is essential. Make decisions based on careful analysis and diplomacy rather than emotion. This can be the difference between escalation and resolution. One of the more recent shocking moments in leadership happened in Australia in 1996 when Prime Minister John Howard enacted strict gun control legislation after the Port Arthur massacre. This decision went against his party's traditional stance and caused significant backlash, yet it was hailed as a transformative move for Australian society. Tip 5. Sometimes leadership requires you to make difficult and unpopular decisions for the greater good. When faced with tough choices, stay grounded in your values and the larger mission, even if it means facing criticism. Now, let's bring this conversation to the present day with some shocking stats about leadership in the modern workplace. Did you know that 58% of employees would trust a stranger more than their own boss? Or that only 11% of employees strongly agree that their manager shows consistency between words and actions? Tip 6. These numbers are a wake-up call for leaders everywhere. Building trust starts with consistency. Always follow through on your commitments and make sure your actions align with your words. Your team is watching and your credibility is built or destroyed. one decision at a time. On a more personal note, many leaders credit their parents as their first and most important leadership role models. While this might not be a shocking revelation to some, it's a powerful reminder that leadership starts at home. Tip number 7, if you're in a leadership position, remember that you are also modeling leadership for others, whether it's your children, your team, or your community. Lead by example in all areas of life, and your influence will extend beyond your direct role. These are just a few examples of shocking moments in leadership throughout history. Whether it's navigating a national crisis, rebuilding trust after a scandal, or making tough decisions that go against the grain, these moments remind us that leadership is often defined by how we handle the unexpected. Tip 8. As a leader, embrace the fact that unexpected challenges are part of the journey. The key is to be resilient, prepared, and focused on leading with integrity, even in the face of shock or uncertainty. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, hit the subscribe button for more leadership insights and stories from history. Let's continue to learn and grow together as leaders.